So this is ChatGPT. It is on the left-hand side, we have our menu. And of course, in the middle, we have our workspace. Now, you could see the name of the tool, and of course, some few descriptions. Here are examples of the prompts that you can use and what it can do. Here, it talks about the capability of the tool. For example, it can remember what users have said earlier in the conversation. So when you start talking, let's say you're talking about food recipe, and you start talking about vegan food from the very beginning, it will remember that you are talking about vegan food. Or you're talking about maybe hypertension, it can remember that you were talking about hypertension. It also allows you to make corrections. So once you write a prompt and you ask it to give you a response, but you give you a response that you don't want or something different from what you want, you can correct it and it will take correction. And of course, it's also trained to decline inappropriate requests, like trying to make it say violent words or say rude words or use insults. It has been trained to decline, and it has more capability. As you get to use it, you get to know what it can do. Of course, just like every other tool, ChatGPT also has its own limitations. It can occasionally generate incorrect information. So it is important that you have your own basic information, your knowledge about the field. So you are not going to write a book on a field that you don't have an idea about at all. You can't defend it. Remember when we were talking about why everyone should write a book and the benefits that come from a book, we say it opens up opportunities for you. So let's assume that you write a book about space or the moon or rocket science and stuff like that. An opportunity comes up for you to have a conversation, let's say on radio or on TV on that subject. It's not an area that you are familiar with. You may not be able to take advantage of that. So my advice is maintain an area where you are knowledgeable about, so that as you use the tool, you also gain more knowledge about it and you can defend it. It can also produce harmful instructions or biased content sometimes. So that is one of the limitations. And up to now, its knowledge is limited to 2021. Anything after 2022, it is not yet trained to know it. Perhaps by the time you may be watching this course, it may have been trained to improve on its capability to be able to give information beyond 2021. Now, on the left-hand side of this screen, you could see the work I've done before. I've written books on these different subject areas before now. And you could see this yellow button to upgrade your plan. Remember, I mentioned earlier that this tool has a ChatGPT Plus, a premium tool, which you have to pay monthly subscription to use. And I also mentioned that the free tool is good enough for us to write a very good book. However, if you want to go advanced and get more features, you feel free to click on the button and get upgraded. Now we have this interface changer. If it is on white interface now, when I click on it, it will become dark mode. So this is dark mode and this is light mode. You feel free based on your own what you like and what you enjoy. We have the OpenAI Discord. If you click on this, it take you to OpenAI Discord, where you can join the Discord and join the conversation that go on ChatGPT. You see other people that are using it. And of course, this button takes you to new updates and frequently asked questions. You can feel free to open it up and go through to see all that's been discussed there. And of course, the last button here is for you to log out when you are through. I just open up the update and FAQ, and here it is. You can see a lot of conversations going on. They're talking about the different changes that are happening with ChatGPT. Okay. So let's come back to ChatGPT as it were and continue what we're doing. So if you can see, you can scroll to all the work you have done. Remember, I said I've written over 10 books, but 10 books are ready now and published. So everything you have done will be written here because you can do a lot of things. You can write email using it. You can write any form of letter. You can ask for suggestions. You can do any form of research that you want to do with it. It will actually be highly helpful to you. Now, when you want to start, you always see this button, New Chat. When you click on New Chat, it will open up this interface for you to use. If you look at this bottom part, there is a box where you can write in your query. For example, you can say, write a short poem on living in the forest. Okay, so this is where you write your prompt. Then you click on this arrow and it will begin to write for you. Alternatively, if you don't want to click, you can go on your system and the shortcut is to click on enter. So I'm going to click on enter on my keyboard and watch it produce what I asked it to do. So I said, write a poem on living in the forest. So here it is writing out a poem for me. So let's see what it comes up with. In the forest, I find my peace, where nature's beauty never ceases. The rustling leaves, the chirping birds, a symphony that's soothingly heard. The sun filters through the trees. Dappled light dances on my knees. I breathe in the fresh, crisp air, and all my worries disappear. So you could see a very good poem is written here. Let's try something else. Write a letter to my boss telling him that I won't be at work today because I have taken ill. So let's click enter and see what it's going to come up with. So here I started writing the letter. Dear, your boss's name, I hope that this email finds you well. I'm writing to inform you that I will not be able to come into work today as I have fallen ill. Despite my best effort to power through, my condition has worsened and I need to take some time off. You see, it has written that. So let's see. Let's also try another prompt and see. This time around, we are asking question. So what is the best way to grow a garden in my backyard? This is a question. So we click enter. Let's see what it comes up with, whether it has a suggestion for us. Now we're going to put all these things into practice when we are writing our book, but we are testing it so that you see how this works. So it's giving us a response. Growing a garden in your backyard can be rewarding and fulfilling experience. Here are some tips to help you get started. Choose the right location. Select an area of your backyard and get enough sunlight at least 6 hours a day. And has well-drained soil. Plan your garden. Okay. So you see, you wait for it. Now, when it's writing and you're not satisfied, because of course, as it is writing, you also will be reading along what it is writing. If you're not satisfied with what is writing or it's not writing what you expect, you can click on stop generating. We'll put it in practice in the next prompt. But before then, this is the tool. Once it's finished writing, it will ask regenerate response. When you say regenerate response, when you click on generate response, it will rewrite this in a little different way. or it will write it afresh. Okay, so I've clicked generate response, and it will rewrite that post which it has written before. So if I'm not satisfied with what it's doing, I can click here and say stop generating. Okay, so let me click that, stop generating, and you see it will stop. Now, if you use the generate button like we used earlier, at the end of the, when it has finished producing the result, it will show you this. There are two versions of this information. So you can go between the two. This was the first it wrote, and this is the second it wrote, which actually stopped it from completing. So then once you are up and you want to get to the end of the page, you can click on this button here, this down arrow, and it will take you down. Okay. Now let's do one more before we go to the next section in this video. Suggest pen name for me. I want a pen name of a woman from rural Alabama. Okay, what I'm doing here, I want to give me a pen name, but I want the pen name to depict a woman that is from rural Alabama. So with this, it will give me a name from US, and of course, a name that is popular in rural Alabama. So let's see what it comes up with. So as an author, sometimes you want to write under a pen name. So you can ask for suggestions. So as you can see, there are some names that is suggesting in which you can write. Well, let's try. I don't like these suggested names. Can you write names from the 18th century? '18th century America? Okay, I'm asking to change because what he gave me, I don't like them. So I'm asking for something else. So let's see what it will come up with. So what I'm doing is for you to see how much work this tool can do for you, different ways in which you can use this tool. Maybe we can check some other things it can do. See, it's giving me names, and this is not what I want. I earlier asked for pen names. I'm trying to make it conversational with the tool. I earlier asked for pen names. So I am expecting. So I was expecting that you will give me pen names from, you will suggest, not give, you will suggest pen names from, remember, 18th century America. So I'm asking, so I'm correcting it now. Remember, we're having a conversation. It's not giving me what I want, and I'm trying to correct it. So I've corrected it. So now sometimes you come across this. Reason is because the tool is being used by so many people at the same time. So all you need to do is copy this and of course, refresh this page. When the page is refreshed, you can input the same information and it will start again. So you could see that it opened up a new chart and we want to continue with the chart that we were working with before. But before we do that, I want to show something. If you do not continue from here and you ask a question, it may not be able to answer in line with what you're discussing before. So let me ask this question and let's see whether it will answer us. Okay, so you see, it's giving me something else altogether because it thinks I'm asking a fresh, new question. However, when I go back to our earlier conversation, which was under this chart, which we were having before, where I already have asked him about pen names, it may give me a different result altogether. So it has come back to where we were working before. So let me ask the same question I was asking before, okay? So let's see what it will give us. Remember when we tried it on a new chart, it gave us some names of popular people of the 18th centuries, okay? So see, so you can see that it's continuing on the conversation that we have been having before now, okay? And it has gone actually back to give us something. So as it is, it has different capability. If what it gives you, you're not satisfied with it, you can see, modify the question, and it will come up with very good answers that will be helpful to you. Okay, so this tool has been what I've used for all the 10 books I wrote in January. And of course, these are books that will make money for me. And I actually wrote a series for men on different problems that men have. So you can also use it to write recipe. You can use it to write different kind of books. So whatever kind of book that you want to write, it will help you write it. And like I said, when I was discussing the use cases, it can do a lot more than just writing books. You can use it for several things. You can use it to write social media posts. You can use it to write tweets. You can use it to for your customer care responses or support, and so on and so forth. So in the next section, we are going to look at how we can generate ideas for the book that we want to write.